Solar Eclipse 2023. A solar eclipse, as we all know, is a captivating celestial event that occurs when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, temporarily causing a shadow on our planet. When this alignment is perfect, a rare and awe-inspiring phenomenon known as the Ring of Fire or an annular solar eclipse takes place. There are many unusual events that happen during solar eclipse. Sometimes the shadows look like the crescents during a solar eclipse. Why is that? Friends, small openings between objects such as tree leaves act like pinhole camera, and these allow light rays from different parts of the partially obscured sun to create an enlarged image of the sun on the ground. The same shadows occur all the time, but the images created are circular, showing the entire solar disk. We can observe solar bands during an eclipse, and it can be an exciting and unexpected part of a total solar eclipse. They add to the mystical and unique nature of these celestial events, making them even more memorable for those fortunate enough to witness them. Solar bands appear as faint, wavy lines or bands of light and shadow that move rapidly across the ground just before and after the total phase of a solar eclipse. The exact cause of solar bands is not completely understood, but they are believed to result from atmospheric turbulence. Strange behavior in animals, especially dogs. People aren't the only ones buzzing during an eclipse. Some of our animal friends have a long documented habit of reacting strangely to celestial jinx. Chickens are scared, and so are dogs. Dogs react weirdly during an eclipse. Lots of dogs chase their tails, but for some, the behavioral is a sign of a canine version of OCD. Now, scientists are finding the minds of dogs and humans might be more closely linked than we thought. Confused birds during an eclipse feel it's dark and they go home. Eskimos have strange beliefs and they do strange things. For the Eskimos, the sun and the moon had become temporarily deceased. In response, they cover up everything of importance, themselves included. They feel that the sun rays is deceased and infected, and they want to be protected from the infected sun rays. For the Ojibwe tribe of the Great Lakes, the onset of total eclipse represented an extinguished sun. To prevent permanent darkness, they proceeded to fire flaming arrows at the darkened sun in an attempt to rekindle it. Bailey's beads. It's a remarkable, spectacular vision seen only for a few minutes. It was Francis Bailey who noticed this. He was an English astronomer who noticed Bailey's beads on annular eclipse of May 15, 1836. Just before the moon's disk covers the sun, the narrow crescent of sunlight may be broken in several places by irregularities on the edge of the moon's disk. The resulting array of spots roughly resembles a string of beads called the Bailey's beads. Only lucky people can see this rarest, beautiful phenomena that happens on the sky. We can see bats flying during the day during solar eclipse. During a total solar eclipse, the sky can become significantly dark for a few minutes as if it was a night time. This sudden darkness can confuse certain animals, including bats, which are typically active birds in the night. They might become disoriented, thinking it's time to be active. The drop in temperature, because bats are cold-blooded, can also make them active during solar eclipse. Bright lights in the solar system. During a total solar eclipse, when the moon completely blocks the sun, the darkened sky allows other celestial objects to become visible. This includes some of the brightest planets in our solar system, such as Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system and is exceptionally bright and may also become visible during a total solar eclipse. While other planets may not always be visible during a solar eclipse, due to their positions in their orbits, Venus and Jupiter are the most likely candidates to be seen. Observing these planets during a solar eclipse can be a unique and captivating experience, adding to the awe-inspiring nature of the celestial event. If you have powerful telescopes, then this visual treat is possible. Observing a double moon during a solar eclipse is a natural occurrence, and the moon really does not appear as two separate objects during an eclipse. Instead, what you may be referring to is a rare optical phenomenon called a false or a mock moon, which can appear under specific conditions. It is false moon or moon illusion. During a solar eclipse, injuries can occur both physically and to the eyes if proper precautions are not taken. As the environment becomes dark during a total solar eclipse, there is an increased risk of people tripping and falling, especially if they are not familiar with the area or if they are not using artificial lighting. People are watching the sun rather than the road, and accidents can occur. There is a temperature drop during solar eclipse. The temperature drop is not felt in the whole earth since the darkest part of the moon's shadow is less than 100 miles across. But yes, the temperature can drop by a few degrees. Why is yesterday's solar eclipse called the Ring of Fire? Well, when the moon is at its closest point, it is called perigee. If a moon passes in front of the sun during perigee, we get what is known as a total solar eclipse. But when the moon is at its farthest point, known as apogee, it does not appear large enough in the sky to fully block out the sun. Therefore, we get what is known as the Ring of Fire eclipse or an annular eclipse, where a ring of sunlight can be seen peeping around the moon's shadow. There are scientists who are eclipse chasers, and they quote that no eclipse is alike. Every eclipse is different and lots can be learned. Let's positively learn from everything around us because there is so much that we can learn from the nature. Let's learn positive lessons and let's always stay positive.